Thank you for joining me for this episode of Journaling with Steve. Today we're going to talk about morning pages, a focus hack that can really help you calm the mind in the morning and help you focus throughout the day. Morning pages is a super popular subject in the journaling community. If you haven't discovered it yet, you're going to learn all about it in the next couple of videos. First, a little backstory. In 1992, Julia Cameron wrote a masterpiece called The Artist's Way. It's undergone several revisions. There's been a 10th anniversary, a 25th anniversary, and this 30th anniversary edition that have been released. And for creatives, The Artist's Way is a must-read. In fact, I urge creatives to read it every year. As we find in other important books, each reading will reveal new treasures, new useful tools to add to your toolbox. Julia does get a little woo-woo here and there, but her teaching is so good, so effective, so helpful to creatives that it can't be overstated. Throughout the book, Julia returns repeatedly to two lessons that she views as essential to the artist's journey. They are, number one, the morning pages, and two, the artist's date. We're going to focus on the morning pages and the artist's date for about the next 4 or 5 videos, including today. Julia wants her readers to discover, as she did years ago, that the morning pages and artist's date work together to do 2 things, and I'm going to add a third. 1, to beat the inner critic, something Julia calls the censor, into a corner. And 2, to free the artist's brain to create. And my third one is to achieve focus by gaining control over morning anxieties, and we'll talk about that in a minute. First, let's talk about the inner critic, the censor. Then we'll talk more about morning pages. The censor is that inner voice that we all have. It's that voice that says stuff like, "Who do you think you are? You call that good? You're not really gifted, you're an imposter." You've heard that voice before, right? Sure you have. We all have. These are the things you gotta know about that nasty inner critic, the censor. It is not the voice of reason. It is not the voice of truth. It pretends to be the voice of logic, but it isn't. It seeks to destroy our true logic, our true artistry, any original thought, any artistic leaning, any creativity, or any inclination towards self-sacrifice for the good of others. Basically anything positive are threats to the censor. The censor is insidious. Just like that ancient story about the serpent in the Garden of Eden whispering lies to Adam and Eve, the censor whispers lies into our ears, seeking to convince us that it has our best interests at heart, but it does not. It wants to destroy you and me. But we can beat the censor, and the morning pages are a key tool to beat it. Morning pages has kicked off my day for years. Over the years, I've discovered that they not only keep the censor at bay and help release my own creativity, but they help me achieve focus. And this is why I've decided to introduce them earlier in my video series. More than any other question I get about journaling, I am asked, can journaling help me focus? Let me explain how morning pages helps you with focus. You know those thoughts that you have when you first wake up? They rush around, totally random, refusing to be corralled. Did you know that there's actually a scientific or psychological term for those thoughts? Morning anxieties. Morning anxieties? No wonder we lose focus for the entire day. Those thoughts racing around in our brains when we first wake up muddy the waters of our brains all day long. But the morning pages effectively corral those thoughts, freeing us to think clearly all day long. Now, let's spell out what the morning pages actually are. Very simply, the morning pages are 3 pages written in longhand, not digital. There is no wrong way to do the morning pages. Grammar, punctuation, vocabulary, spelling, none of that matters. It doesn't matter if you scribble stuff out or draw pictures. The simple point is to keep your pen moving. Write down every thought that pops into your head. It's like a brain dump. It doesn't matter what it is. Now, interestingly enough, Julia never says in her books or in her interviews what size paper is required. I've decided that since the Leuchtturm 1917 A5 is the most ubiquitous notebook on the planet, that's the size, I decided to use that to set my personal target. Now, I write 251 words per page on average on the Leuchtturm 1917 A5 ruled notebook. So, my target for 3 pages is 753 words. And that becomes important for me because I use a lot of different sizes of notebooks. So for instance, when I use an A4 graph by Midori, that is 1 page and 13 lines. That equals 3 pages in the Leuchtturm, 753 words. Here are a few tips to help you enjoy the morning pages experience. 1, you'll want to have something handy to write when you run out of things to say. For when your mind goes blank, you might think of colors: orange, green, blue, black, purple, or numbers: 1, 2, 3, 100, 1,000. Names of family members: Joe, Sarah Beth, Bill, anything just to keep your pen moving. When my mind goes blank, I've got 3 sentences that I write, and it's helped me for years. And the sentences, here they are. And so it goes, there it is, I don't know what to write. And so it goes, there it is, I don't know what to write. Now, usually anymore, by the time I'm done writing that 3rd sentence, I'm good to go. Another thing I like to have, it's nice to have some kind of concentration music video going. I like the YouTube channels Visual Melodies and Tim Janis. They have beautiful nature videos and music that doesn't distract with lyrics. It's just purely instrumental. And so if I ever draw a blank while I'm writing, I just look at the screen, see a nature scene or something, and write down what I see. Look, there's a deer in the meadow. There's a waterfall cascading down a mighty mountain. Whatever I see on the screen. And here's the last tip. While you're doing morning pages, you are going to have a to-do pop into your mind. It's the nature of the beast. Don't stop to record them on your to-do list. Instead, write them in your morning pages, mark them with an asterisk or something, and come back to them later. You don't want to interrupt the flow. Now, I've been doing morning pages long enough that it's pretty rare that I draw a complete blank anymore. The 3 sentences are usually enough to keep me going. And here's your last tip. Prepare for morning pages the night before. Set out the pen or pens or pencil that you plan to use, your notebook, coffee cup or tea, set the timer on your coffee. The thing is, you don't want to be alert when you start morning pages. This is a key point. This is a pro tip. Don't be alert when you start morning pages. Basically, roll out of bed and start writing. That's how you can corral those morning anxieties before they get a chance to sneak into the back of your brain to trouble you all day long. If you found this video helpful so far, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend about it. Now, let me quickly recap the morning pages process. There are 3 goals to the morning pages. 1, beat the inner critic, that censor, into a corner. 2, free the creative brain. And 3, to achieve better focus during the day. What the morning pages are? They're 3 handwritten pages. There's no wrong way to write them. Punctuation, grammar, spelling, vocabulary, nothing matters. A few tips: get ready the night before, roll out of bed and write, have something ready to write if you draw a blank. Concentration music videos can help. I like to write, and so it goes, there it is, I don't know what to write. And the last tip, Write down to-dos right in the body of your morning pages. Don't get interrupted. One last thing. The morning pages are a commitment of time. You simply cannot write 3 pages of text in longhand in 10 minutes or less. I usually require between 50 to 75 minutes to write 3 pages. It just can't be done. This is one reason why I've been hesitant to teach about the morning pages, but they are so worthwhile, life-changing really, that I decided not to put them off any longer. In my next video, I will show you a recording of an actual morning pages session, and I'll show you what to do when those pesky to-dos pop into my head. Stay tuned. That video will be out in about 3 days.